Today we have a new video. You won't be seeing my face because it's dark and it's nighttime, and we're gonna watching Donald Trump and what's the name video, and he's gonna show us like what happened and whatever, and we're just gonna watch it and let's get into it.
What the fuck? I still can't believe this shit. I don't know why I'm laughing. This shit's not fucking funny. There's nothing funny about this. Y'all really fucked around and let this nigga win, bruh. And the reason I say y'all, cause I didn't vote. What the fuck are you doing? I didn't vote, and technically I'm talking about myself, but anyway, either way, this nigga won. Y'all let this nigga win. Oh my gosh, we have to watch a Donald Trump video today. I went out of my way to make sure if we didn't have anything else, we had a Donald Trump video today. We're gonna watch Donald Trump, top 25 stupidest moments. This is the nigga that y'all voted for. This is the nigga that y'all... This shit crazy.
I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. I tell you that. Islamic terrorism is eating up large portions of the Middle East. They become rich. I'm in competition with them. They just built a hotel in Syria. Can you believe this? They built a hotel.
Had some big successes in the business world, but you've also had some big failures. And let's go straight.
Well, I don't think I've had big failures. Donald Trump has always been very, very successful. And so when you say failures, I don't think I've had failures, but let's go ahead. Ask me about a couple.
Okay, Trump hotels and casinos filed for bankruptcy protection 3 times in 6 years.
Okay, let me explain it to you. Very simple.
Isn't that a failure?
Not really. I mean, look, it worked out very well for me. It was very successful. I then levered the company. I took it public. So I had a relatively small piece of the company. And what happened is Philadelphia...
Wait a second, you were chairman of the board.
Excuse me.
You were chairman of the board.
I was chairman, but I didn't run the company. I had nothing to do with running the company. Management ran the company.
You were paid $2 million a year.
Excuse me. I didn't run the company. I'm just telling you. Excuse me. Because of my genius, okay?
This is your...
When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us, at our stupidity. And now they're beating us economically. They are not our friend. And these are the best and the finest. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems. And they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. I can just say this. More people are in this country right now illegally than ever before. I will build a better wall, and I'll build it for cheaper, and Mexico will pay, if that's your next question.
Yeah, how do you get Mexico to pay?
Because they are ripping us left and right.
But
Mexico.
how do you make
By the way,
pay?
I love the Mexican people. Many Mexican people work for me. Many Mexico people I do business with. They purchase things for me, like apartments, etc., etc. I have great relationships with Mexico and with the Mexican people. I love the Mexican people. I love their spirit. Our current president came out of nowhere.
This nigga's worth $3 billion.
In fact, I'll go a step further. The people that went to school with him, they don't even know. They never saw him. They don't know who
Why
he
is he trying to be
president?
president?
No record. Can't be criticized. Wonderful guy. He's a nice man, but there was no record. Nothing to criticize. He didn't go in wars. He didn't go in battles. He didn't beat this one, that one, have enemies all over the place. Nobody knew who the hell he was.
If the state of Hawaii says this is official, he was born in Hawaii on this date, here it is, why do you deny that?
A lot of people do not think it was an authentic certificate.
How can you say that if
you won't report it, Wolf, but many people do not think it was authentic. His mother was not in the hospital. There are many other things that came out. And frankly, if you would report it accurately, I think you'd probably get better ratings than you're getting, which are pretty small.
Any concern that being a presidential candidate could be bad for business?
It could be. I mean, I really don't care.
Most corporations steer clear of politics because they know that by taking one side, they're going to alienate half of America. As a businessman, does it make business sense to be so outspoken?
It doesn't matter to me if it does, if it doesn't.
Do you know Hillary Clinton? You said you've liked her. You got along with her well when she was New York Senator.
Thank you all so much.
Personally, what do you like best
Look,
about
I get
Hillary
along with
Clinton?
everybody. That's what we need. We need somebody that can, but they'll do what I tell them to do.
Words are weapons. So you have to have some form of collegiality if you're president of the United States.
I get along with everybody.
Okay.
I get along with the Chinese. By the way, people think I don't like China. I love China. I sold an apartment for $55 million to a Chinese gentleman.
Start by talking about the Pope. There's a big debate in the Republican Party now
What is he
what role things he says should play. You've spoken favorably about him. He's talking this week about the environment. Should a potential
This was
president
supposed to be a
listen
joke,
to what
and
the
y'all
Pope
fucked
says
around and
about
let this
global
nigga
warming?
actually win.
Well, I'm not so sure. Look, I have a lot of respect for him. I think he's really a terrific person. I love his stance. He's so different. He's very refreshing. But I think you want to listen to science. You want to listen maybe to your own gut, maybe your own experience. I'm not sure you have to necessarily listen to the Pope. Look, it's not a question of instinct. I feel very confident. I went to the Wharton School of Finance. I was a good student. It's like one of the hardest schools in the world to get into. I then do a book called The Art of the Deal. It's the number one selling business book of all time, or just about. You may say, oh, there was one that sold two, but just about. It's still in the schools, everything else. I then do a show called The Apprentice. In the meantime, I build this incredible empire. It's got a tremendous net worth, very little debt. And then I hear some pundit or some person say, he doesn't deserve to be on the stage with a senator. The senator is nothing. And I'm not saying, or senators are nothing, I'm saying certain people are zeros.
But what makes you think that you can do a better job, especially when you seem to have quite a thin skin? You get very upset when people make fun of you.
Well, no, I don't get upset.
Donald Trump is here tonight.
The White House Correspondents' Dinner in 2011. Donald Trump had fought a bitter campaign demanding to see the president's birth certificate because he doubted that he'd been born in the US and thus even qualified for running the country. That night, the president got his own back.
No one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing?
I was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in 2011.
Flaming his ass.
You were the butt
That's
of
what he
President Obama's
deserves.
jokes, and it was very funny, but you weren't laughing. You were sitting there scowling. You couldn't take the joke.
Okay, no, you're wrong about that. I loved it. I absolutely
Didn't look like it.
You're wrong.
He said I loved
I didn't know how to act. Do I smile? Do I laugh? What am I supposed to do? I had every camera in the world on me at the time. And I said to my wife, I tapped her on the knee and I said, do you believe it? This entire speech is about me. I can't believe it. I loved it.
Donald Trump is now threatening to sue the network Univision after they pull the plug on their Spanish-language coverage of the Trump-owned Miss USA pageant.
I love the Mexican people. Two waiters came up to me tonight. Mr. Trump, we love you. I said, where are you from? Mexico. I said, that's great. I love you too. I do. I love Mexico. I've had tremendous relationships with people in Mexico. But I said, we need a strong border. I said, we need a wall.
What?
Are you not more concerned about them than you're concerned about illegal immigrants coming in here and
I'm
killing
concerned
people?
about everything. I'm concerned about the country. Our country's going to hell.
You're for the Second Amendment. Do you have a gun?
I have the license to have a gun. Yes, I do.
Do you own one?
Yes, I do.
Do you use it? Gun range?
It's none of your